Hi guys, today I'm doing this little Christmas tree hat for a baby. This is the size for a newborn, so it's quite small, so it's very quick to make and very easy. We're only using triple crochets and double crochets. So, and then obviously we have the star, but for the star I'll point you to a different video. So let's get started. So for this one I'm going to use Drop Stick Merino, which is a really lovely and soft 100% wool. And I'm going to use 5mm crochet hook. And then I'm going to need some festive yarn. It doesn't have to be gold, it can be whatever color you like. But this is what I had lying around, so this is what I'm using. And then some colorful buttons and thread and needle, and obviously something to cut. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing to do would be a magic circle. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to wrap the yarn around the two of my fingers and then go back over, and then I'm going to take my hook, put the hook under the first yarn and over the second one and twist. And then I'm going to pull this yarn through the little loop that I've just created, and there you have it. This is going to be our magic circle. So let's do that again. So I'm just going to wrap my yarn around the two fingers and go under, over, twist, turn, pull and pull through, and that's our magic circle. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to tighten my magic circle and tighten my stitch, and then I'm going to do 2 chains. So 1, 2, and then I'm going to do 8 triple crochets in the magic circle. Now the term triple crochets is British English, so in American English it will be double crochets. So 8 triple in the magic circle. So yarn over, and then put the hook inside the circle, yarn over and pull through. Once you've pulled through, you should have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, pull through first 2, and then yarn over, pull through the second 2. And that's your first triple crochet. And again, we're going to go yarn over, put the hook in the magic circle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's the second one. Again, yarn over, hook in the magic circle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's our third. So now we need to do 5 more. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so we have 8 triples, and now we can tighten our magic circle. So we take the bit that we have left from the beginning, and then we pull. So we pull and pull. There we go. And it's all tight. There is no hole in the middle. So now we can just go and slip stitch into the first stitch. So we skip the 2 chains here, and we go into the top of the very first stitch. So this is the chain. We don't go into the chains. We go into top of the first stitch, which is right here. And then we slip stitch. So that's our beginning. Okay, so for round 2, we're going to chain 2 again. 1, 2. And this time we're going to do 2 triple crochets in each stitch, starting in the very first stitch. So ignore this. This is not going to count as a stitch. The chains are just the chains here. So 2 in the first stitch, 1 and 2 in the second one, 2 in the next stitch, 1, oops, 1 and 2, 2 in the next one, 1 and 2. So this is what I'm going to do until the end of the round. So 2 treble crochets in each stitch. You can pause the video now and I'll see you here in just 1 second. Okay, so now I'm going to slip stitch, and again we're going to slip stitch not into the first 2 chains, we're going to slip stitch into the top of the very first stitch that we made in this round. Slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 2 again, and here in round 3 we're going to do 1 treble crochet in each stitch, starting from the very first stitch, which is this one here. So 1 treble crochet in each stitch. So we should have 16 stitches now, and at the end of this round you should still have 16 stitches. So I'm just going to go around with 1 treble in each stitch, and I'll see you here once I finish this round. Right, so there we are. End of round 3. We're going to slip stitch into the top of the first stitch, as usual, ignoring the first chains. And then we're going to chain 2 again. But in this round we're going to do things slightly differently. So we're going to use something that's called back loop. So instead of going into the stitches like we usually do, which is under the V, we are going to go from the top and to the back. So again, from the top and to the back, and that's how we're going to yarn over and pull through. So this is called back loop only, okay? So let's begin. So in the first stitch, we're going to do 1 treble crochet. So we have to go into the very, very first stitch where the chain is. So from the top, back loop only, and do a normal treble crochet. So that's 1. In the next stitch, we're going to do 2 treble crochets. So from the top, go and slide towards the back, pull the yarn over, and do a treble crochet. And again, in the same stitch, another treble crochet. Don't worry about the holes, it will even out. And then in the next stitch, we're going to do 1 treble from back loop only. And then the next stitch we're going to do 2, and again we're just going from the top all the way around. All the way around we're doing back loop only. So the pattern here is, as you I'm sure have figured out already, 1 2 1 2 1 2. So we're doing that all the way around. But let me just show you before we move on to the next step. This is why we're doing it, because we want this nice little ridge that you can see here, just here, to make it a little bit more like a Christmas tree. So I'll finish this round and I'll see you in a second. Okay, so now we're going to slip stitch into the top of the first stitch, and we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to do 1 treble in each stitch. And at this point, we should have 24. So 1 treble in each stitch, starting from the very first stitch. And we're not doing back loop only, we're doing just normal stitches here. So 1 treble in each stitch, 24 at the end, and I'll see you here in a second. Okay, and now we're going to slip stitch into the top of the first stitch, chain 2, and we're going to do a round of back loop only. So we're going to do 1 treble in the first 2 stitches. So back loop only from the top into the back in the first stitch, just 1, and the same in the second stitch, just 1. And then we're going to do an increase, which is 2 trebles in the next stitch. So 2 trebles, back loop only, in the next stitch. And then again, 1 treble in the next stitch, or always from the top, all the way around. 1 treble in the second stitch, and 2 trebles in the third stitch. So this is our sequence two stitches with one treble in each stitch, followed by an increase. So again, 1 in the first stitch, 1 in the second stitch, and 2 in the third stitch. So I'm going to do that all the way around, and remember this is back loop only, so we go in from the top, and I'll see you here when I finish this round. Okay, so at the end of this round we should have 32 stitches, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of the very first stitch, and now we're going to do 32 stitches. So one stitch, one treble in each stitch, starting from the very first stitch, and we're going to just go around with one treble in each stitch. So at the end of this round you should have 32 stitches still. Okay, I'm going to carry on with this. You can pause the video now if you like, and we'll see you in a second. Okay, so you have our 32 stitches. Now we're going to chain, slip stitch, slip stitch into the top of the first stitch, chain 2, and do 3 triple crochets, 1 in each stitch. And this one is going to be back loop only as well. So if you have a look, every 2 rows we have back loop only. So you need to back loop only again. So 1 triple crochet back loop only in the first stitch, 1 in the second stitch from the top into the back, and 1 into the third stitch, and then 2 triple crochets into the fourth stitch. So 2 into the fourth, and again we're doing back loop only all the way around. So again, 3 triples, 1 in each stitch, 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 increase, so 2 triples in 1 stitch. So this is our sequence. So 3 and then 2 stitches in 1, 3, 2 stitches in 1, and then 3 and 2 stitches in 1. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to have another one in here. So I'm going to finish this round, and then I'm going to meet you. So this is what I'm going to do for now, and I'm going to meet you here when I get to the end of this round. Okay, so now we're going to do slip stitch, and from now on we are going to do a bit more increasing. So we're not going to increase every second round, we're going to increase now straight away. And so this is our top of the tree, and now we want it to be able to go onto the head, so we need to have a bit more space in there. So we're going to chain 2 as usual, and then we're going to do 4 triple crochets, 1 in each stitch, followed by an increase. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, followed by an increase. So we're not doing a back loop only, we're doing normal triple crochets here. And we're doing 4 stitches, 4 triples, 1 in each stitch, followed by an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in single stitches, and then 2 stitches in 1. So again, 4 triples, 1 in each stitch, 1, 2, 3, and 4, followed by an increase. 1, 1, again, 1, and 2. Okay, so this is the sequence: 4, then 2, 4, then 2, 4, then 2, and I'll see you at the end of the round. Okay, so now we have 48 stitches, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of the first stitch, chain 2, 1, 2, and do another increase. But we have done our 2 rounds, so now we're going to do back loop only round. So this round we're going to do 5 trebles, 1 in each stitch, followed by an increase. So from the top in the very first stitch, that's our first treble, second treble in the next stitch, third treble in the next stitch, all from the top, all back loop only, 4 and 5, so that's our 5 trebles, 1 in each stitch, and then we're going to do 1 increase, 1 and 2 in the same stitch, and again we're going to do 5 trebles, 1 in each stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and followed by an increase. So 2 trebles in 1 stitch. So this is the sequence 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2. So 5 increase, 5 increase, 5 increase, and so on and so forth. Remember, it's back loop only, and I'll see you here when I've got to the end of this round. Okay, so we now have 56 stitches. We're going to slip stitch into the very first stitch. And now, so if you know the child that you're making this hat for, it might be worth just double checking whether this is the right width. Now, this is intended for a newborn baby. So if the child is any older, you might need to do 1 more increase. So again, also, every child is different. So if you can try it on, do. If you think, actually, I want it a bit bigger, what you can do is carry on as we have been. So do another increase by doing 2 chains and then doing 6 treble crochets, 1 in each stitch, followed by an increase. 6 trebles, 1 in each stitch, followed by an increase, and so on and so forth. So that could be your next row. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep this size, and we are going to just do 1 treble in each stitch all the way around. 1 treble all the way around. So we intending to have about 38 centimeters around, and then, you know, this is pretty much what you're after if you're doing things generally. But as I said, if you know for a fact that this is too small and you just want a bigger one, just go ahead and do another increase round. So I'm just going to do 1 treble in each stitch, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so we're back, having to do back loop only. So I'm going to slip stitch as usual, and then I'm going to chain 2, and we're going to do a little decrease this time. So we're going to do 5 trebles, 1 in each stitch, starting from the very beginning, and it's, remember, back loop only, so we're going from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're going to do a decrease. So we're going to start as if we were making a treble crochet. So put the hook in, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the first 2 loops. And then before you finish, don't finish the treble crochet, yarn over again and go into the next stitch along, yarn over, pull through, then yarn over, pull through the first 2, and then pull through the last 3 together. So that's our decrease. And now we're going to do, 5 trebles, 1 in each stitch again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to do a decrease. So again, yarn over, and as if you were starting, as if you were making the treble, but before you finish, before the last step, yarn over again and go into the next stitch as if you were making a treble. And then you have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through all 3. And then again we're doing 5 trebles, 1 in each stitch. Okay, 4 and 5, and then another decrease. So go into the first stitch, go into the second stitch, and then pull through all 3. So the reason we're doing this is because we want the hat to not slide off the head very easily. So what we're going to do, we're going to carry on with this sequence. So 5 trebles, 1 in each stitch, decrease, 5 trebles, decrease, and so on and so forth. And I'll see you here in a second. Right, so there we go. It's a nice little curve there. So now we're going to do 1 treble, slip stitch in the first stitch, chain 2, and then 1 treble in each stitch. So just 1 treble in each stitch all the way around. And we should be back to 48 stitches right now. Okay, so I'll do 1 stitch all the way around, and I will see you here at the end of the round. Okay, so now we're at the end. I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to chain 1 only. This is going to be our last round, and I'm just doing this to make the edging slightly nicer, because what happens, we're not going to do any special edging because of the back loops that we have here, so we're just going to do double crochets here. So 1 double crochet in each stitch, which is British English, and in American English that's single crochet. So basically no yarning over before we put the hook in the loop. We're just going straight into the loop, and they're going to the very first one as usual, yarn over, pull through, and pull through 2, and the next one, yarn over, pull through 2. So we're just basically going into the stitch, yarning over, pulling through, and we have 2 loops on the hook, and yarn over, pull through again. So this is what we're going to do around the across the entire round, and then I'll see you here once I've finished. And this is when we're going to fasten off and move on to decorations. Okay, so now I'm just going to fasten off and finish off. I just wanted to show you, because I think it's pretty nice edging there that you can actually see it, and it's something that we want to keep. Now the other thing is, if you want the hat to be longer, again, you know the pattern, you know how the increases work, but also from here on you can just do a straight line and just do it as long as you like, and just finish off with double crochets when you're ready. Okay, let's decorate. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is make a star for the top of my Christmas tree hat. So I've already made a video about how to make these, so I'm not going to show you from scratch here, but you can go there and do that following the instructions from the other video. Now, the only difference is I used 2.5mm crochet hook for this project. So go ahead and do that. Pause this video and come back before you fasten off. So don't cut anything yet. Okay, so now you've got your star. What we're going to do, we are going to fasten off, but we are going to keep quite a long tail because we want to use this yarn to attach our star to the hat. So we're going to use leave quite a long tail. So you can fasten off now. There we go. So that's our star. So before we attach the star, we want the arms to be a bit straighter as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do what's called blocking. Again, I'm not going to make a video about this, but you can have a look just there. It's basically ironing without touching. So you steam, you put a lot of steam on the yarn to make sure that it's straight without touching the iron. So please have a look first before you start doing it. So I'll do that and then come back to you. Okay, so our star is now ready, nice and flat, and we're going to use a darning needle to attach it to the Christmas tree hat. There we go. Now we have a little bit of yarn here. This is the first one, the one we started. I'm actually going to get rid of that because we don't need it. And remember, this part where you fasten off is to be at the bottom. So you don't want the star too high. You want it so that the first arm is sticking out, but all the other parts of the star are actually attached. Okay, so let's get started. And try to make sure that you don't go through the other side of the hat. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to attach it a little bit, and then I'm just going to put my hand inside there. Now ideally you won't go through the hat completely, so that inside there won't be any gold yarn visible. So you just go through the top of the stitches in the green in the hat, but it's in the end it's not really that important because that's on the inside, so it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, now we're going to turn around and go this way. So basically this is what we're doing, we're just attaching our star, trying to make sure that it's straight. And I'm just going to continue, and I'm going to attach as much of the arms as possible because that will also help them not to curl up again. Okay, so just carry on doing that, and when you're finished, as you can see, this, I wanted the star to be a little bit higher, but it doesn't matter, it's still high enough, and you can see that's on the top of the tree. So I'm going to finish that and come back to you. Okay, so the star is now attached. I'm going to use my bag of lovely buttons to choose a few to attach as baubles. So if you have any buttons, that's probably enough. They don't have to be different shapes, I just happen to have this, so that's what I'm going to do. So you can position them wherever you like, and I'm just going to use the thread that I showed you before for every single one of them, because I just wanted, it would be too much hassle trying to match thread to the buttons. So I'm just going to attach them one by one, so that's gonna take a little bit of time. So I'm gonna do a little knot here. Okay. And of course at the beginning you need to be quite careful not to pull it through because yarn is obviously a lot thicker. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just go into the top of the yarn like so, and then again just to make sure that it holds, and then I'm going to put the button on top of it. And again I'm going to try not to go through to the inside. I'm just going to try to work with the top of the stitches here. I'm going to do this with quite a few buttons all the way around the hat. So I'll see you here once I've finished and then show you the completed product. So there you have it, a newborn Christmas tree hat. As you can see, it was very easy to make, very quick, and it's quite cute, I think. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again soon. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to my channel, and have a good Christmas. Bye bye.